China Lake was my first tour duty after I finished A school. I was there from 62 to 64. And in July of 1963, President Kennedy came to the base. The Naval Ordnance Test Station's out in the middle of the Mojave Desert. It's larger than the state of Rhode Island. Huge, huge, huge facility. It's where they test and develop all the missiles that are used, you know, in the Navy. But anyway, he came to China Lake. Got to see him up front and personal. It was an interesting scenario where they had me positioned along with probably the entire White House corps of photographers. You know, nowadays when you look into the press rooms of any time the president speaks, the whole room is full of, you know, reporters. But what they tend not to show is there's also an equal number of photographers in there standing around the edges shooting pictures. Generally from anywhere from 50 to 100 of them, you know, in any one given time. And that whole area that we were in this particular building, it was about 100 photographers, you know, the White House Corps of photographers. And I walk in my uniform with my camera, and I said, man, I'll never be able to get up front. But they saw me and escorted me right up to the front row. And so when the president, you know, and the captain walked in, I shot the very first picture. And what was interesting about it is that this particular camera I was using at the time was very noisy. And when it fired, it went kablunk. And then the flash had this high-pitched whine as it starts to recycle, and then whee! And you could hear it, you know, and the captain and the president and several other people were looking right at me like, what in the world is that guy using? You know? So it was kind of, I'll never forget that. But then we went on and shot bunches of pictures, and you know, and then I followed him around from that point on, and got some good shots.